Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, Daphne Rose asks Carter to meet her somewhere private. Her voice is tight. Her eyes are filled with a mix of fear and determination. This really gets to Carter. He thinks she is upset about the wedding. He thinks it is about all the things they have to do before the day. He thinks it is about what will happen after they get married. He is wrong. Really wrong. When Daphne Rose finally tells him he is your son, everything changes. It feels like time just stops. Daphne Rose says these words. It is like something breaks. Carter hears Daphne Rose say he is your son and it is devastating. Carter laughs at first. He does this because the situation is impossible. His mind will not accept it. The Carter mind rejects the idea before his heart even gets a chance to think about the pregnancy. Daphne does not laugh. Daphne does not cry. Daphne just looks at Carter. She looks at him with a face. She does not look away. This is when the truth starts to sink in for Carter. Daphne tells Carter about the pregnancy she had a time ago. She tells him about the fear she felt. This fear made her make some choices. At the time, Daphne thought these choices would protect her. Now these choices feel very wrong to Daphne. She tells us how she managed to convince herself that Carter was better off not knowing the truth. The truth would have hurt Carter's life and his career. It would have also hurt the person he thought he was. Now Carter's chest feels tight as he thinks about all the memories he has of Daphne. He looks at these memories in a way. He remembers the times when Daphne did not tell him things about her past. He remembers the times when she changed the subject. He remembers the times when things did not make sense. Carter is very upset. This upset quickly turns into anger. His anger is not loud. It is strong and it hurts. Carter's anger is like a cut that will not heal easily. The truth about Daphne and her past is hurting Carter much. He wants to know why she made that decision without him, why she let him go on with his life not knowing that he had a child growing up else without a father. Daphne loses control. Starts crying, saying she was really scared. Scared that he would reject the child, scared of what people would think, scared that Carter would choose his career over being a good parent, even though now she realizes that she did not give him enough credit. Carter is a better man than that. As Daphne shares more about their son, like how old he is, what he is like, Carter starts to feel a sadness that he cannot explain. It is a feeling that settles inside him. He thinks about all the things he has missed with their son, like birthdays and first steps and bedtime stories. He even thinks about the times their son must have fallen and scraped his knees. These are moments that Carter can never get back. The thought of this is very hard for him to deal with. It feels like it is too much for him to handle. Then Daphne tells him something that makes things even harder for Carter. She says that she did not tell him about their son by accident. She did it at this time for a reason. The timing of her telling him about their son was on purpose. Carter and his fiancée's wedding is coming up. They have been talking about starting a family. Now it all seems fake because they have been hiding things from each other. Carter walks out into the sunlight. It feels like he has been holding his breath for too long. He is trying to figure out who he really is. He wants to talk to someone about what's going on, so he tries to talk to Ridge or Eric or even Brooke. He cannot find the right words to say. It is hard to explain how his life has changed much. When everyone else finds out what is going on, they are going to be really upset. The truth is going to cause a lot of problems. Carter and his wedding and his plans. For a family, it is all going to fall now. Ridge is really mad for Carter. He thinks it is so unfair that Daphne did not tell Carter he was a father before now. Ridge thinks Daphne should have told Carter a time ago. Eric is being more calm. He wants Carter to think carefully about what's happening and remember that there is a child involved. Katie feels so bad for Carter. She knows how it feels to find out something too late. Hope is worried about Carter too. She thinks this news might mess up the life Carter has finally started to have. People are talking badly about Daphne. They are whispering about her. Some people are even yelling at her. She says she did not mean to trap Carter. She did not want to use the truth to control him, but it is hard to believe her because of when she told him. Was she being honest? Was she just really wanting something? Carter talks to her again. This time he wants to meet his son. He says what happens with them as a couple does not matter much, as the child. This child did not ask to be kept a secret. Daphne says okay. You can tell she is really scared. Carter wants to meet his son and Daphne is afraid of what will happen with Carter and Daphne and the son. She knows that this meeting is going to change everything. It will change the bond she has with her son. Her son has never known Carter as anything than a name from the past. The meeting is getting close. Carter is getting really upset. He is questioning every decision he has ever made. He is also questioning every priority he has ever set for himself. Carter is thinking about whether his desire to be successful made him forget what is really important. He is wondering if the universe is punishing him for choosing to work all the time of being open and honest with people. Carter has been doing this for a long time. When Carter finally sees his son from across the room, something inside of Carter breaks, then comes together again all at once. Carter sees that his son looks a lot like him. They have the eyes and the same quiet way of being. Carter realizes that nothing he has ever done at work, no matter how good it was, means much to Carter as seeing his son right now. His son is being careful around him, not sure what to think of Carter, and Carter knows that it will take time for his son to trust him. Carter does not ask his son to trust him. Carter promises to show up for Daphne again no matter how long it takes. Even as Carter and Daphne start to connect again, the hurt they caused each other may be too much to fix. When you build love on secrets, it is hard for it to survive when the truth comes out. Carter has to decide if he can forgive Daphne or if what he found out has ruined their future together. On the Bold and the Beautiful, surprises do not just shock people, they change their lives. And as Carter steps into fatherhood under the most painful circumstances imaginable, one question looms larger than all the rest. Can something so beautiful come from a truth revealed far too late? Or will this secret forever be the thing that destroys them all? The thing that happens after Daphne drops her bombshell does not just stay. It gets worse and worse. It spreads into every part of Carter Walton's life. It makes problems for him every hour. Carter Walton does not sleep. He cannot sleep. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees his son's face. He sees the way his son looks at him, the way he looks like him, the way his son behaves. His son has already learned that the people around him will not always do what they should. This makes Carter Walton feel really bad. Carter Walton thinks about Daphne's bombshell. It makes him think about his son. He thinks about how his son does not expect much from the people around him. This thought alone really hurts Carter Walton. He has spent his career advocating for fairness and truth and accountability, yet the most profound injustice connected to his life happened without his knowledge, right under his nose. The irony of this situation is really brutal, and it eats away at him all the time. It is always on his mind. Fairness and truth and accountability, the things he has dedicated his life to, were ignored in his life. At Forrester Creations, Carter is trying to stay calm. It is clear that something is bothering him. He does not even read the papers that are in front of him. All the meetings start to seem the same to him. Rich notices that something is wrong with Carter away, and he confronts him, asking him to explain what is going on. When Carter finally tells Rich the story, that Daphne kept a son a secret from him for years, Rich gets very upset. He walks back and forth in the office talking about how Daphne lied to Carter and saying that Carter should call off the wedding now. Carter does not get angry, like Rich does. He sits down in a chair, really tired. He says it is hard to walk when a kid is involved. Rich does not agree. He thinks that staying will make it seem okay to cheat on someone. But Carter is not thinking about how he got hurt. He is thinking about being a father. He already missed out on a lot of time with his child. Rich thinks Carter should leave. Carter is thinking about what is best for the kid. He wants to be for his child and make up for lost time. Brooke is really upset. When Carter talks to her about what's going on, she starts to cry. She is not crying because Carter and his girlfriend broke up. She is crying because she feels bad for the kid who is stuck in the middle. Brooke tells Carter to calm down and think about things clearly. She says he needs to separate the things his girlfriend did as his partner from the good things she does as a mother. Brooke says to Carter, you do not have to forgive your girlfriend, but that little kid needs people to get along, not fight all the time. What Brooke says really makes sense to Carter. Carter thinks that everything he does from now on is going to have an effect on things. This will not just change his life, but it will also change the way his son feels about being safe and being part of the family. Carter knows that his son needs to feel safe and like he belongs. So Carter has to be careful about what he does because it will affect his son's life too. Daphne is feeling really alone now. She thought people would be mad at her or maybe even not want to be around her. What she is getting from everyone is that they are really disappointed in her. Katie talks to Daphne in private. Asks her something that nobody else will ask. Why is she doing this now? Daphne says that the wedding made her do it, that she could not marry Carter without him knowing the truth. When she says this, Daphne starts to wonder if she is doing the right thing with the wedding and with telling Carter the truth about Daphne and her situation with Carter. This confession, was it really about doing the thing, or was it about being scared of getting caught later? Daphne is having a time figuring that out for herself. She loves Carter, that's for sure, but now she has to think about the fact that loving someone does not mean you can control them. When Daphne decided what Carter could and could not handle, she took away his ability to make his choices. The guilt from that is starting to feel even worse than her fear of losing Carter. Daphne loves Carter. She is scared of losing him, but she also knows that she did something wrong by controlling him. The wedding thing is really getting bad now. So Carter calls Daphne, asks her to meet him. He sounds okay. You can tell something is wrong. He tells Daphne that they have to put the wedding off for a time. He says it is not because he is mad at her, because he has to do it. Carter says he cannot promise Daphne anything until he figures out what kind of dad he will be and what kind of partner he can be for her. This is all because of what happened. Daphne is really upset. She does not say anything back to Carter about it. She just listens to what the wedding and Carter are going through. The wedding and Carter are a deal to her. She knows that this is what happens when you do not speak up. A time ago she chose to say nothing, and now she is dealing with the consequences. When the news comes out that something has been put off, it causes a stir among their friends. People start talking and guessing. They judge Carter. He does not want to talk about it in public. To Carter, this is not some rumor or story. It is a serious matter, a reckoning for the Carter family, and the situation with Carter is very serious. Carter is going through a time, and Carter is not going to discuss it with just anyone. Carter is spending time with his son. The bond between Carter and his son is growing slowly. It is growing cautiously. There are times when they do not know what to say to each other. They have some silences. They have some conversations. Sometimes Carter tries hard and then he stops because he is afraid of overwhelming his son. Then something good happens. Carter and his son have some shared laughs. They have some gestures. They start to understand each other without saying anything. Carter and his son are starting to feel like they really have something between them. It is still very fragile. Carter is learning about the things his son likes. He is learning about the things that scare his son. He is learning about how strong his son can be even when he's quiet. Every time Carter learns something about his son, he feels sad again about all the years he missed with his son. Hope starts to come out when there is a lot of pain. Carter sees that he cannot change what happened before. He can make the future what he wants it to be if Carter is brave enough to do it. Carter has to be brave to make a life for himself, to make a good future for Carter. Daphne asks the question that she has been trying to avoid. She wants to know if there is any chance for Daphne and Carter to be a couple again. Carter does not say anything away. He tells Daphne the truth. He says that when trust is broken like this, it does not get quickly or easily. Carter admits that he does not know if he can ever fully forgive Daphne. This is not because Carter hates Daphne, because what happened hurt him very deeply. The thing that happened was a loss for Carter, and it still feels that way. Daphne accepts this with resignation. She knows that love may not be enough to fix what secrecy has destroyed. Daphne thinks that love alone cannot bridge the gap that secrecy created. Daphne feels that secrecy has caused a lot of damage and love may not be enough to make things right. When people started talking about the scandal, everyone had opinions, friends became enemies, and people judged him a lot, but Carter kept his eyes on one thing: being there every day. He did this for his son and for himself. It was not clear if Daphne would be with him in the future. One thing was for sure. Carter Walton was not just a man who was getting married anymore. Carter Walton was a father who was dealing with a past that was taken from him and a future that was unsure. He was determined not to let fear make his decisions for him again. Carter Walton wanted to show up every day for his son and for himself. On The Bold and the Beautiful, revelations this seismic don't fade quietly. They redefine legacies, reshape relationships, and force characters to confront who they really are when everything they believed collapses. Daphne's bombshell may have destroyed Carter's wedding, but in its wake, it has ignited something far more powerful, a reckoning that will change the course of his life forever. The things that happen keep affecting Carter Walton's life for a time after it first happened. It is like something that is always there and he cannot ignore it. As time goes by, Carter starts to realize that what he found out has changed his life from on. It has also changed the way he thinks about his past. Carter Walton thinks about memories that he used to love. Now they do not feel the same. They feel like something is missing because Carter Walton did not know something about himself when he made those memories. Carter Walton's memories feel incomplete and a little bad because of what he did not know about himself. This is a tough thing for him to deal with, but it also makes him more determined than ever. He does not want his son to go through what he did. He wants his son to know that he is loved and that he is important to him. The thought of his son feeling unwanted or unloved is something that he cannot bear. His son will know that he is valued and loved, no matter what. He will make sure that his son never has to wonder if he is wanted or not. History will not repeat itself, not for his son, not for the people he cares about. History will not repeat itself for his son. This situation is going to cause problems between Carter and Daphne. Daphne is having a time watching Carter become close to their son. She feels like she does not know what her role is anymore. Carter is very honest with her. He says that being a father has made things clear for him. He realizes that love is not enough if people are not honest with each other. Carter thinks that love without honesty is not good even if people really care about each other. The problem is that Carter and Daphne are going to have to deal with this issue, and it is going to be difficult for them. Carter and Daphne are going to have a time because of the way Carter feels about love and honesty. Daphne listens, tears streaming down her face as Carter explains that keeping secrets did not just slow down the truth, it also changed it. Now they have to rebuild everything from this changed truth. That will take a lot longer than Daphne or Carter thought it would. For the time, Daphne does not say anything to defend herself. She says that she was afraid and that fear made her make choices. She was trying to protect everyone. She ended up hurting Daphne's loved ones instead. Saying this does not make everything okay. It is a start. Daphne is taking responsibility for what Daphne did of just making excuses. This is a step, but it is a step towards making things right. Carter is spending time with his son and it is affecting everything around him. The people who know him see the difference in him. He is not as rough around the edges as he used to be. Carter is more patient now. He is thinking about what is really important. Rich says that Carter seems stable. He is not just worried about how things look, he actually cares about what is real. Eric thinks he sees something in Carter, a man who has finally found a reason to stop moving so fast and think about his life. Carter is changing because of his son, and the people around him can see it. Even Hope thinks that Carter is not someone she works with, he is also someone who is going through a really tough time. She starts to notice that Carter is dealing with his emotions in an amazing way. This does not make Carter's sadness go away. It helps him remember that sometimes people learn and get stronger after something really bad happens to them. Carter is still in a lot of pain. He is also growing as a person, and that is something. Things are not getting better for Daphne. People are still talking about her secret. They think she is sneaky or only looking out for herself. This is really getting to her. Daphne feels bad about what she did to Carter. She also feels bad for her son. Her son now knows that his life was changed by things she did because she was scared. Daphne starts going to therapy. She is not doing this to make a show, she is doing it because she knows that if she does not face the hard things, they will only get worse. Daphne is going to therapy to deal with her secrets and the things that are bothering her. She knows that if she wants to stay in her son's life and maybe even Carter's life, she has to deal with the parts of herself that chose to be quiet, of being honest. She has to think about why she picked silence over telling the truth. This is important for her son and for Carter. Carter is starting a part of his life. One thing is clear. He cannot go back to the way things were. The wedding that used to mean a stable life now feels like something that happened a time ago. It has been replaced by a more complicated and uncertain path. Carter does not know if he will be able to forgive, if his love will survive the problems they are having, or if Daphne will still be with him. What Carter does know is that being a father has changed him in a way. It has given him a reason to keep going that's stronger than anything he ever got from his job. Fatherhood has made Carter feel like he has a purpose. This feeling is something that he never got from doing well at work. Carter is feeling this sense of purpose because of being a father. On the Bold and the Beautiful, big surprises do not usually bring an end to things. They actually start problems, help people grow more, and have bigger effects. What Daphne said may have ruined Carter's wedding. It also made people see the truth, and now this truth is out in the open for everyone to see.